Hello YouTube modeling community. Welcome to Morris Custom Model Shop. James Morris here, saying God bless all here as always. Well, starting a new week here. I figured about time I put up a couple of videos about a few things. One, CD had asked about what got us started modeling. I covered that in another video earlier, but I'll go over it again. But really think probably to understand it better you need to know a little background on me. See, I was like I say, I was born into an old family. My brothers and sisters didn't appreciate that, but it was. My parents were in their mid-40s when I came along. I was such a big surprise. Dad left me on the porch for 3 days to see if I was going to bark or cry. He wasn't sure what it was. But my next oldest sibling was already 10 years old. And so, you know, there wasn't anybody, the rest of the family was off raising their own families or in the service or whatever. And time I was 7, my sister that was living with me there at Mom's and Dad's, she got married and moved off. And so I was by myself. At that time I lived in the middle of the town of New Lebanon, right in the middle of the main street, and you know, had a yard about the size of a postage stamp, so there wasn't a lot of playing outside spaces. I needed something to occupy my time, and I really never did in my whole life. I never did like a lot of people around, no crowds or nothing. I liked having friends, but just, you know, on a moderate scale. I get nervous around a lot of people. But so when my sister and her first husband were ready to move back to Ohio, he was getting out of the service. Like I say, he brought me that water bucket full of leftover parts from all the AMT 3-in-1 kits he had built, customizing parts and cut up chassis, cut up bodies, you name it. He was a fantastic builder. One of the best with a paintbrush I ever saw. That was before airbrushes and before you get decent paint in a spray can. I mean, that's way back there. And he did beautiful work, but he had a lot of parts. He brought me, like I said, a water bucket full of stuff, and he had a 4940 he'd built that laid up behind the back seat of the car, and it got melted. It looked like it had been rolled down a mountain. And he gave me that, and that's what I started with. Just like this parts box build I'm doing for Charles over at Model Mine 72. It's just putting stuff together and trying to come up with something, you know, and that's just where I started at. And it's just grown from there. I've never completely got out of the hobby, but having went through to a third marriage and had kids and grandkids, and life threw me a lot of curves and, you know, threw up a lot of roadblocks over the years. So there's been times that for sometimes a couple of 3 months I wouldn't get to do anything in modeling, but then, you know, it was always there when I had time to get back to it. And that's what I've always loved about modeling and what it means to me. It's my world. I can escape to it whenever I want to. Now that I'm retired, I'm living in it, and it's wonderful. I love to just have the freedom to do whatever I want to do when I want to do it. Nobody to tell me which bathroom to use or where to wear a mask, where not to. I'm just here and I'm myself. And that's what modeling means to me, and that's basically where I started. I did cars up until the late 70s, early 80s, and then a friend that I knew got me into armor and aircraft, and I did that until the early 90s. What started me back into cars was that AMT Nova kit, the 66 Nova kit. When they came out with that, I got interested in cars again because I just gotten bored with the kits. They just kept putting out the same kits with different decals. You know, it's kind of like the Japanese now putting out the same kit. Oh, but it's got a resin spoiler now. Hot dog. You know, or a resin girl. Oh well. Anyway, that's just my history. That's all there is to it. Just wanted to get on here and tell you that, and tell Chris, since Chris is a newer subscriber, he wasn't around when we did that. It's about 4 years ago, I guess. I looked the other day. I've been on here since 2014, so I'm becoming one of the old men of the YouTube community. So, but that's all for right now. I appreciate y'all watching. Hope everybody has a blessed week and gets lots of bench time and lots done. Good day to you. Bye-bye.